Hello everyone, welcome to Sharmit. In this session, we are going to discuss about another very important example for reactive form, where we will see how to use form control with required true validation. Okay, so by the end of this session, you will be able to understand how to design a form and validate the checkbox. Suppose you are working on a web application and there you want to design a form where you want to make sure that whenever user submit the form, user will should opt for the yes agreement is read or agreed with the agreement. So this kind of thing we will implement here, and we will proceed in the very same way. Like firstly I'll tell you the requirement, and then as per the requirement we will design the logic and we will verify the output as well. Along with this process, we will also discuss the interview questions and the things that you might see in an exam or in interviews. Okay, but before we proceed further with this session, I would like to recommend you to please go and check out the previously released sessions first, because they all are in proper sequence and sync. So if you follow it sequentially, then it would be much more easier for you to understand the ongoing topic. Because for time being, we are just mainly focusing on how to use form control with required true. Okay, now next thing, like for the detailed content, you can also refer the Sharmit digital coursebook, which is freely available in the description box. There you will find more than 3000 plus free resources available in Hindi and as well as English language. So as per your convenience, you can go through it and you can try to consume the content. Okay, alright, so let's get started. Here you can see currently I'm in app.component.html file, where we have one primary heading that tells Angular course by Sharmit. After that we have secondary heading, that is the main heading, reactive form in Angular, form control with required true, checkbox validation. Okay, now after this what we will do, we will add two horizontal rows here, and in between these two horizontal rows we will define the entire form. Now let's assume how to define the form, like what is the requirement, what we are going to build. So we want to build a checkbox. There we will write one note that to proceed, accept the terms and condition, or if you are agree, please accept the terms and condition, and there we will provide that checkbox. So if user is okay with the terms and condition, he or she will select that checkbox. If it is selected, then it will proceed further. If it is not selected, then in that case we want to show one message that please accept the terms and agreement to proceed further. So as simple as that, we want to make sure that user has agreed that yes, he or she read the terms and condition. Clear? Fine. Now we will move further, and to implement this thing we will add the required prerequisite thing. Okay, so for that let's go to app.component.ts file. Here you can see we have one import section. In this import section I will write reactive form module, reactive forms module. Also we will be using the conditional statement, so for that I will write here ng if, and then we will mention the required variable here. Okay, so I want to define a variable for terms and condition, right? So maybe I can give it as the name terms. Okay, so just write terms equal, here I will write new form control. Okay, so you can see when I press enter here, it automatically imported it here. So always make sure that it is imported, because if it is not imported you won't be able to use it. Now put a parenthesis inside this. I will set the default value as false, and after that we will use the validators. So just write validators, press enter. Validator is also imported. Now just use dot here, and with this you will use the thing that is required true. Okay, so don't get confused between the required and required true. Required is for the field where we want to make sure that the user has keyed in something there. Okay, and required true means it is related to the checkbox. So just go and select the required true. Okay, then put a semicolon over there, so we are good with it. Okay, so this thing is ready. Now next what we will do here, we will simply go to app.component.html file, and then here we will define the form. Okay, and in this form I will firstly put my label, right? So I will just write here label, and in this label area, like, you can define whatever label you want to show to the user, Okay, so let's say I want to just show that please select this argument, or accepted the agreement, something like that. Okay, so for that we can design here label. So here I will write I agree to the terms and conditions. Okay, so this is the label I want to show. Now after this label we will add the input field. So let's add it, and in this input field we will define the type, and we are sure that we will be using it as a checkbox. So just write checkbox and then attach the form control. So I will just write here form control, and remember one thing, this is completely case sensitive, so whatever you are writing here, make sure it is in the same case, otherwise it won't work. Okay, all right, so this input field is ready. Now if I show you the output, you will see that checkbox is coming properly, but we are not trapping the error. So I just run the command ngserve --- open, and it will take few seconds, and then it will show you the output on the browser screen, and there you will find that it has the required headings like Angular course by Sharmit. Also we have secondary heading that tells us reactive form in Angular form control with required true checkbox validation. Then we have one horizontal row. After that we have agreement line that I agree to the terms and condition, and there is a small checkbox. So when user want to select the checkbox, he or she will select this, and it is selected. If it is not selected, in that case I want to show the message that please accept the terms and condition before we proceed. Okay, and so this message I need, although like we have added the form control, so it has figure out that yes, it is not checked in, but we need to capture that, right? So now we will do that only. Okay, and then we have horizontal row. So let's capture the error. So for that you just need to write here one paragraph, and in this paragraph I will write star ng if. Okay, and then we will simply write here terms dot errors question mark dot, and inside this we will write here in single quote required. So make sure that it is required, okay, not required to. We will just write here required, and then we will show one message like you must accept the terms and condition. Okay, so this is the thing, and don't get confused like why we are not using the button and all, because this is something that you all know, like how to submit the button and all. We are just mainly focusing on the validation part, and that is the reason I am not including the buttons and other details. Okay, so let's save it and refresh it. So now you can see it shows I agree to the terms and condition is there, but we haven't selected this. That's why we are getting this message, you must accept the terms and condition. The moment when I select this, you can see it is removed now. Clear? So this is how it actually works. In fact, you can also use terms.touched here in case if you want to check for touched condition, and I'm sure like you know about that. So these are the all things that usually we do when we want to implement a logic where we are validating the checkbox. In case if checkbox is not selected, we will simply show this kind of message. Currently we are not applying any CSS, otherwise you can make it more in a more better or appropriate way with a proper red color, or maybe some highlight line or some icons or something like that. Okay, but for now we are just using it as simple as that, so that you can understand the main concept of the validation. We are not doing any extra stuff here. We are just particularly focused about how to use the validation for the checkbox, and that's it. Yeah, so yeah, in this session we covered and concluded a topic, and that is a form control with required true checkbox validation. For that, these are the mandatory thing. Make sure that for form control is there, reactive forms module is there, and validators is there. Also for conditional statement we are using ngif, and here we have defined the variable with proper validator condition. In the next session we will try to figure out more examples related to validations, and then we will proceed further with the further topics. Meanwhile, you can do the practice. If you have any queries, questions, suggestions related to this session, feel free to reach out to me. through comment section. I would be more than happy to answer your questions and implement the suggested feedback. So yeah, that's all for today. See you in the next session with new topics. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.